Have you ever walked into a crowded place, a party, a shopping mall, a busy street, and after only a few minutes, you already wanted to leave? Nothing bad happened. Nobody hurt you. You were surrounded by people. But somehow, your mind was looking for an exit. And the strange part is, you might actually like people. So why does your brain react this way?
Maybe you have experienced this.
Everyone around you seems energized, talking, laughing, moving from one conversation to another. But inside, you feel tired, overloaded, like your brain is trying to process everything at once. The sounds, the faces, the conversations, the small details nobody else seems to notice.
And because of this, some people start wondering, why am I like this? Why can everyone else handle this, but I can't? But the answer might not be what you think. Why do some people feel drained in crowded places, while others feel completely alive?
Some people assume that if someone hates crowded places, they must hate people, that they are antisocial, cold, or simply shy. But psychology tells a more interesting story. Sometimes, the problem is not people. The problem is stimulation. Some minds process environments differently. A crowded room is not just a room. It is hundreds of sounds, movements, and social signals happening at the very same time.
And for some people, that creates a completely different internal experience. Some people are not avoiding crowds because they dislike connection. They are avoiding environments where their mind has to process too much at once.
People who struggle with crowded places often fall into different patterns. The first type, the deep observer. They enter a room and automatically notice everything: who feels uncomfortable, who is pretending, and what people are not saying. The second type, the emotional absorber. They easily pick up the energy around them.
If everyone is stressed, they feel it. If everyone is excited, they feel that too.
The third type, the internal processor. They need quiet moments because their own thoughts are already very active. A crowded environment adds more noise to a mind that already has a lot happening. Imagine two people entering the same party. Person A walks in. They see music, people, energy. They feel more alive. Person B walks in. They notice the same things, but their brain starts processing everything: the conversations, the expressions, the atmosphere, the pressure to interact. Same room, different internal experience. Imagine Sam. He goes to a friend's birthday party. Everything seems normal.
Everyone is laughing. Everyone is enjoying themselves.
But after an hour, Sam becomes quiet. Not because he dislikes anyone or is angry, but because his mind just feels full. He steps outside for a few minutes.
The silence comes back.
And suddenly, he feels like himself again. For years, Sam thought something was wrong with him. Until he realized, maybe he wasn't broken. Maybe he was simply overwhelmed. But there is something most people miss. You might think the problem is the crowd. But the interesting part is not that some people avoid crowds. The interesting part is what their brain is trying to protect them from. You might believe it's about confidence or about being shy. But it's not always that simple. A person can be confident and still feel exhausted in a crowded environment. The difficult part is, many people misunderstand themselves. They compare their reaction to others. They think, why can everyone enjoy this except me? And slowly, they start labeling themselves. Too quiet, too sensitive, too different. But sometimes, the thing you criticize about yourself is actually a clue about how your mind works. The same mind that becomes overwhelmed by noise can also notice details others miss. The same sensitivity that makes some environments exhausting can create deeper awareness, because noticing more can be tiring, but it can also be a strength. Maybe what you've been calling a weakness is actually how your mind pays attention. Maybe the reason you dislike crowded places is not because you dislike people. Maybe you dislike losing your connection with yourself. For some people, quiet is not loneliness. Quiet is where their mind finally becomes clear. Understanding this changes the question. Instead of, why am I like this? The better question becomes, what kind of environment helps me function at my best? Because knowing yourself is not about forcing yourself to become someone else. It is about understanding the way you already work. What about you? Do crowded places make you feel energized or mentally exhausted? And what is one place where you feel the most like yourself? At Human Insight Studio, we explore the hidden psychology behind everyday human behavior. Because understanding yourself changes the way you see the world. And sometimes, the way people protect their energy is not by leaving crowded places. Sometimes, they disappear into their own thoughts, which leads to a different question. Why do some people create entire conversations and scenarios inside their own mind?